Global Go Fest is around the corner, so let's look at the event details. Starting with the raids. We're going to go to Go Fest now and Saturday. What do we have on Saturday? I'm going to get to the Super Mega Raids at the very end, so hang tight. These are crazy. And Stormfire Peaks is the first habitat for raids. It'll be spawning Mega Ampharos, Mega Blazing, Mega Abomasnow, and Mega Raids. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Lugia, and Ho-Oh in 5-star raids. So now, what do you really want to hunt? These are all good for Mega Boost. Mega Blaziken is a good fire and fighting type attacker, so I highly recommend getting yourself one of those. Now, for these legendary raids, Ho-Oh and Lugia, basically all of these are irrelevant in these forms, but Moltres at Shadow form is a good flying type raid attacker. Shadow Raikou is a good electric type raid attacker. And then Lugia and Ho-Oh in their apex forms. Lugia is a good flying type and Ho-Oh is a good fire type if you have their apexes. But other than that, these are really just for shinies and for the Pokedex. Astral Tides is up next, spawning Mega Alakazam, Mega Gengar, and Mega Swampert in the Mega Raid. Mega Gengar is a good poison type. Mega Alakazam is not a good psychic type. Mega Swampert is a decent water and ground type. Mega Swampert is also a pretty good Mega Boost Pokemon when Kyogre and Groudon come to raids often. When they're like there at the same time, Mega Swampert is the Pokemon to use because it boosts both of those for candies. So get yourself a Max Mega for that purpose. Now in 5-star raids, we have Yoxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, which will be spawning more in their respective regions, but they will still spawn in the other regions. So that is a good grab to get. Dialga, Palkia in their altered forms, Giratina in both forms, Xerneas and Yveltal, and then Solgaleo and Lunala, which cannot be shiny. So Solgaleo and Lunala are still good for fusion material for Dustman and Dawnwing's Necrozma. Giratina is fine. Dialga, Palkia are good to grind candies for their origin forms and the shadow forms. Xerneas and Yveltal are not very useful. Yveltal is a good flying type raid attacker though. Now, to end off Saturday, we have some very good raid bosses. We have Mega Pidgeot, Mega Aerodactyl, Mega Salamence in the Mega Raid. Mega Pidgeot isn't very good. Mega Aerodactyl is a very good rock type attacker, and Mega Salamence is basically a weaker Mega Rayquaza. But in the 5-star range, we have Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem. All of these raids are good to get. Kyogre in its primal form is the number 1 water type, Groudon the number 1 ground type, and Mega Rayquaza is the number 1 flying type and number 2 dragon type. So those 3 are basically goaded. Reshiram and Zekrom, when you have their shadow forms, they're each number 1 for their own type, not including the dragon type, obviously. So Reshiram for fire and Zekrom for electric. Their shadow forms are incredible. But Kyurem is not very useful on its own. The first of these Pokemon. Um, Kyurem is really good in its fusions. Like, really good. Uh, I said this in my Road to Legends video, but White Kyurem is the number 1 ice type, and Black Kyurem is a good mixed attacker for Anti-Dragon. But they both have adventure effects, which are super good to get. Now, that's all for Saturday's raids. We have Mega Mewtwo X in Super Mega Raids, though. And so Mewtwo's going to be in Super Mega Raids both days, but on Saturday we have the X. So Mega Mewtwo X is going to be only better than Y in one typing, and that's the fighting type. It's going to have its best moveset is going to be counter, and its unannounced adventure effect, which should be Dynamic Punch Plus. We don't know how good it's going to be with this new move because it's not announced, it's not data mined like the stats for it, but it is going to have an adventure effect where it can break 2 shields in a Super Mega Raid. Now, this raid's going to be incredibly difficult to take down. You need 12 trainers to break the shields, unless you have the adventure effect by this point, in which case you could only need minimum of 6. But we're not sure. It's good for Mega Boost over Y because it actually boosts 2 typings, and it's gonna be a beast. It's gonna be like second best to Y in basically everything, sadly. But get it for the fighting type, get it for the Mega Boost. I highly recommend you raid this. It's going to be good to get a hundo of this. Also, the IV floors will be 11, 11, 11, or maybe 12, 12, 12. We're not sure yet. It says boosted, and super mega raids are automatically 11, 11, 11. So maybe boosted means we'll get 12s. 12s would be really good because it's 1 in 64 hundo chance, which means a 1 in 1,280 shundo chance, which is very easy for a legendary shundo. Next up, we have Sunday's raids. We have the Earthforge domain up first with Mega Metagross, Garchomp, Audino, and Mega Raids. Uh, Metagross, number 4, Steel type. The other two, not great. Mega Audino, if you catch it, you get 2,100 Dust. So, if you really want to raid for Dust, you can, but don't recommend it. 5-star raids, all 5 Reggies, Rock, Ice, Steel, Lucky, and Drago. Dialga and Palkia in their origin forms, which have adventure effects. Palkia is one of the best candies to grind in the game. They're also decent dragon types. Regieleki will be a very good electric type. There's Heatran, Regigigas, and then all of the genies. Landorus Therian is a good ground type. Heatran has a future Mega, which will make it a good fire type. But that's really it for Earthforge domain. You can focus on these two, basically, for the whole 3 hours. Because the spawns aren't going to be great either, as I'll explain later. Now, Verdant Anomaly. Again, kind of like this habitat, the spawns will suck. I'll explain that later, but the raids also kind of stink. We have Mega Beetroll, Pinsir, Sceptile, and Mega Raids. Mega Sceptile is pretty good as a grass type Beetroll, good as a poison type Pinsir, kind of useless. Now in 5-star raids, we have Deoxys and Genesect basically dominate. Because all 4 forms of Deoxys, all 5 drives of Genesect. So that's unfortunate. Genesect is it's soloable. It's not the easiest solo, but it's possible. Deoxys attack is an easy solo. I think Deoxys speed should also be a pretty easy solo. But yeah, Deoxys defense is really hard to take down. I recommend just don't do it unless you have 20 trainers. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It'll take like 3 minutes to take down if you don't have a proper lobby. Now we also have all 4 Tapus. They're good as fairy types with Nature's Madness, but they don't have Nature's Madness this event, so probably skippable. They'll be back with their moves. I don't know when the last time they were back without their moves was, so I mean, if you really want a Tapu without the signature move, go for it by all means. Get yourself a shiny. They have really nice shinies, but don't recommend it. However, we have all of the Ultra Beasts. So, Nihilego, Buzzwole, Formosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Kartana, Guzzlord, Necrozma, Stakataka, Blacephalon. Nihilego and Guzzlord and Necrozma are global. Buzzwole is Americas and Greenland. Formosa is Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Europe, Middle East, and Africa and India. Xurkitree is Asia Pacific. Celesteela is Southern Hemisphere. Kartana is Northern Hemisphere. Stakataka is Eastern Hemisphere, and Blacephalon is Western Hemisphere. Now, what do you want to go after here? You want to go after the Blacephalon. It's a good fire type. You want to go after Kartana. It's a good grass type. Formosa and Buzzwole are okay bug types. Bug type is not very useful. Xurkitree is a good electric type. Necrozma is good candy to get for the fusions, which are Dawnwing's Necrozma is the number 1 ghost type. And Decimated Necrozma is the number 3 steel type. So Necrozma is good candy to get and good for fusion IVs. If you get a Hundo, you can fuse that Hundo. Now we have a really good habitat here. We have the Twilight Battlefield, which includes Mega Tyranitar, Gardevoir, and Lucario. Now Tyranitar is the number 1 dark type and number 2 rock type. Mega Gardevoir, the number 1 fairy type, and Mega Lucario, I believe, has been dethroned as the number 1 fighting type by Mega Mewtwo, but it's still a good fighting type. And now 5-star raids, Latias, Latios, which in their mega forms are good attackers for, I think, both of their types, but they're not the best. Cresselia and Darkrai. Darkrai is a future mega, which will make it, like, the number 1 dark type, I think. So, get Darkrai. Don't get Cresselia. Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion are okay. They're good in PvP. And then Zacian and Zamazenta Hero aren't very useful. But in their crown forms, they're tied for the number one steel type. So get candy for them, get fusion material. The fusions were available in the week, so if you get a good IV, hopefully you have leftover fusion energy. Now, that's all for raids. I know that was a lot. We also have Super Mega raids. Okay, Super Mega Mewtwo Y. Mega Mewtwo Y is the number one Pokemon in the entire game now. It's going to have a crazy max CP. I think it's in the 7,000s now. It's not nerfed at all, so it'll be like full CP. And really, what's going to happen is it's going to be like the number one attacker for every type. You just got to get a second charge move on it. So bottle cap choice almost guaranteed for most people. This is my golden bottle cap. I think I'm gonna mega evolve a Mega Mew. I'm gonna get a Mega Mewtwo Y. Hopefully, I get a shiny with a background that has Psystrike, because then I can just golden bottle cap, and there we have it. The best Pokemon in the entire game. That's all for this Pokemon. It's just goated. So next up, we are going to talk about